Autobots, roll out. my Optimus could be a little better. Uh, my name is Optimus Prime. There's that's a little better. Rise of the Beast. Look, I have had a tepid history. Let's call it tumultuous. A roller coaster of a history when it comes to the Transformers films. I like the first one. 3 through 5 suck. They suck to varying degrees. Some of them are pretty much god awful. I would argue, like the last 15 minutes, like the Battle of Chicago and Dark Side of the Moon is pretty good. I mean, the effects are always solid. Extinction. I liked the dinosaur. I liked the Dinobots. That was Grimlock was cool. Omnus riding a T-Rex is cool. There's logistical problems there, but fine. Last Night actually was probably the least terrible of the bad movies. But then we got Bumblebee, which is awesome. I loved Bumblebee. And now we got this. And yeah, this follows more in the same vein of Bumblebee. This is a good one, I think. Is it amazing? No. Is it more than meets the eye? Absolutely. Which they do use that line. And that might be kind of a plus or a minus depending on how you view it, because man, I just look like this black blob right now. Depending how you view it, and due to the fact that the dialogue, oh man, there's some generic dialogue in this film, and some of it is bad, like is pretty bad dialogue. Particularly like some of the lines Unicron says. Unicron does not say anything of any interest at all. I'll actually go so far to say one of the weak points of this movie, and there are definitely several, but one of the weak points of this movie is kind of the story, because it doesn't make a lot of sense in many ways, but also Unicron himself. Not because Unicron isn't cool in concept. Unicron is very cool in concept. But they don't do anything with Unicron really. Unicron is just kind of there. And minor spoiler, that doesn't really affect the movie at all. We never actually see him transform. So I'm like, well, this is just a waste of Unicron. I mean, maybe you're trying to set him up as a big Thanos bad guy for Transformers down the line. Maybe that's what you're doing. And then we'll see him turn into the actual giant Unicron Transformer, which would be really Mighty Made, the Unicron version, basically. But yeah, that's a problem I have with the film. There's definitely some characters that are just there. I heard one of my dad's work buddies who saw the movie and didn't like it said that I can't remember the black guy's name, but hold on, I'm gonna get Transformers: Rise of the Beast here. What was his name? Come on. Give me Transformers: Rise of the Beast, not Transformers. Jeez. I hate when Google does that. You know, when you're typing in the full name, it then goes away from the full name and just gives you like the first parts like that, which is what you're looking for. No, it wasn't, you SOB. All right. So I suppose we'll try this. So okay, there was a mid-credit scene, by the way. I didn't stay for the mid-credit scene, but I figured that was the way. Bloss, Rate knows, friend talks. Okay, played by Tobey. Oh God, Tobey. Your name is. I'm gonna say it's Toby, not Tobey, but maybe it is Tobey. It's Tobe. Or maybe it's just Tobe. Tobe Nwigwe. It's Nwigwe. Yeah, I'll admit that character was just kind of there. And kind of just a comic relief that was funny occasionally, but just was in and out of the movie pretty quick. Yeah, there's not much. I mean, characters, not everyone makes it, but not everyone makes it in any of the Transformers movies. So I was surprised in some way of some of the characters that went. I heard someone say there wasn't enough Optimus. I had just the right amount of Optimus, in my opinion, because the story wasn't about Optimus. Optimus is there. Guess what? The story isn't always about Optimus. It's about the Transformers. To the people who are like, there's not enough Optimus. There is plenty of Optimus. I don't know what you're talking about. But there's like there's like two Transformers that just kind of show up. And you're like, oh, okay. These guys are a thing now. Cool. Coo, 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 coo. Um, yeah, so I mean, look, it's not perfect, but the things it does well, it does exceedingly well. The effects look great. The action is grand. It's not grand, but it's kinetic. But it's, you feel the weight of these hits. They're doing some major like whoo moments. Um, they're definitely they're definitely showing you everything. That's a big thing. Unlike with the Michael Bay style of action, you can see everything going on here, and it looks great. As someone who grew up on the Beast Wars cartoon, that was my Transformers. Seeing Optimus Primal, seeing Cheetor, Rhinox, Air Razor, damn it, I loved all of that. And when you hear the word Rhinox, Cheetor, Maximize, like, like my childhood right there. Yeah. All the returning characters of Optimus. Look, man, look. Peter Cullen, I think 82, I think he is. Have you seen that marketing thing where he talks about the first time he went to play Optimus? Like, he talks to his brother. It's like, I'm playing this robot. I was like, well, no, you got to learn how to be. If you're going to be a leader, you got to learn how to be gentle. My name is Optimus Prime. I am from Cybertron. Like, yeah, and you can tell, like, Peter's just like, I love the fans. I love it. He'll keep probably coming back to do this till the day he dies. And you know what? Damn it, he's just so cool. He got that. I mean, the line in the trailer is, that scene isn't quite that's matched up. Where it's like, the greatest threat in your past in history is coming, Prime, and you're not prepared for it. Let them come. Like, that's still a badass line, even if it's out of context. Still, just the effects were. I like the way that the Maximals looked. By the way, they looked like a good blend of cybernetic, but also somewhat organic too. This Scourge, who is the villain, who I believe is voiced by Peter Dinklage. Yep, Peter Dinklage. He's actually a pretty solid villain. He's a Terracon who works under Unicron, the giant planet transformer. For those of you who don't actually know what Unicron is, and the planet-eating transformer, if you will. So he's bigger than a planet. He's basically kind of like a trophy. Like, he does what he does because he's forced to. Well, it's because he enjoys it. He's a trophy hunter. He collects the Maximal, the Transformer Signias, like the Maximal Predacon, which that's a little Easter egg if you're actually looking. He's got Predacon symbols on there too. Autobot, Decepticon, doesn't matter. He collects them. He's voiced by Peter Dinklage. Optimus Primal was voiced by Ron Perlman, who, if I didn't think on it for too much, I wouldn't have known. But because I knew going in it was, I listened for it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can hear it. Pete Davidson was Mirage, who is kind of more your Bumblebee for this movie. He's kind of the main bond because he's the one bonding with Anthony Ramos. And look, I won't lie, I'm not a big Pete Davidson fan. I actually didn't like his cameo all that much, and I got some last, but I was just like, I just felt it was wasted in Fast X. Not that, Fast X was amazing to begin with, but it was, I'm not a big Pete Davidson fan. But I got him. He had personality, he had charm, but he knew when to get serious. I actually dug him as the character Mirage. And Mirage is pretty fun because he can create the mirages, that's his name. So that was a lot of fun. You know what? I dug the human characters. We only had a couple main human characters with Anthony Ramos, Dominic Fishback. Is it Fishback or is it Fizzback? I don't look as someone whose last name is Fish. I want to be careful how I pronounce your name. I liked both of them. I will admit there are character choices they make that I don't. Is maybe a little bit at points, which is another issue. For example, her kind of stealing an artifact from the museum for no reason. Other than like, I'm going to get fired. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. And then maybe I should take this with me. Like, I get it. They establish her position in the museum isn't the best, despite her being as intelligent as she is. But still, like, that's a good way to get arrested, no matter what the circumstance. I liked Anthony Ramos' brother. Anthony Ramos, I think he's probably the best lead we've had he's the most relatable lead, I think. Because he's just a guy struggling. He served in the military, but there was an issue. He was dishonorably discharged. But it was more due to the fact that he's not really capable of working good. He doesn't have good team working skills, and guess where he gets them later. And he's just trying to help his brother who's sick. I think he said sickle cell, and they're struggling. And I like their bond. I thought that actually worked pretty well. I got in touch. I saw Anthony Ramos for the first time in the Heights, which did not make the money it deserved. In the Heights is so freaking good, and he is so freaking good in the movie. But everyone's just that movie is so damn good. I haven't really watched it much. I've seen it in bits and pieces since it came back. Man, I'll have to rewatch that some, but I really liked that movie. Anthony Ramos, I bought him, and when you see the struggles he's having, which are mirroring some of the struggles Optimus is having, you see how even though he and Mirage are kind of the ones bonding, you can see how him and Optimus can bond and relate together and finally come to some mutual understandings. And that leads to some fun stuff. There is something that if you pay attention, you can see in the trailer, but I won't give it away, that happens in the finale where I went, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought it could be. I know what happened in the show, but still, it's not as bad as it could be. And there's some great mic drop moments, or needle drop moments, boom. And then hey, look, it ends in a good way. It ends on a solid note. And I only heard that there was a very small thing at the end of the movie, not the very end, but before the credit scene, that happened at the end of the movie where I'm like, okay, that got a big pop out of people. I'm like, okay, what is it? And when I saw it, I'm like, okay, all right, because if you know comic lore, you know that actually is a thing. So I'll leave it at that. I'm like, okay, you know what? Props up. I did not expect that. So look, is it a perfect movie? No, Shakespeare it is not. Shakespeare it's not trying to be though. It's trying to be a good, fun action sci-fi, a little bit Indiana Jones adventure in there at points. And it's just trying to bring the Transformers back in a good way. Bumblebee suffered the slings and arrows of the last 4 previously, even though one of them is a $1 billion film. Actually, I think 2 of them are, aren't they? One second. I know one of them is definitely a $1 billion film. I think that is The Age of Extinction is a $1 billion film. I know Last Night it dropped significantly. It's like 600 something $million, which still made money. I should note, based on what its budget was and all that, it did still in fact make money, but no, it barely eked by. Let's see here. What was it? Transformers: Age of Extinction. Yeah, that's definitely one of them. Okay, there are $2 billion ones. It's Dark of the Moon, and Age of Extinction. Unless it was Rise of the Fallen too, which was the other one. Just try to find all of them real quick. Okay, so yeah, Age of Extinction, Dark of the Moon. No, okay, it was just 2 of them made over $1 billion. Yeah, this movie's not going to do that. This movie I've heard has been tracking between 60 and 70 million. And you know what? Look, the budget is apparently between 190 and 200 million. So average that out. Watching 195, really? Between 195 and 200, really? Screw it, I'm just going to highball that 200. Now, its marketing hasn't been huge, 200 million, but it's been about 100 million in marketing, I'd say. So you're looking at a film that probably has to hit about 450. Now, luckily, the Transformers films, as far as I know, as far as I can tell, do very well internationally. Let's see here. Transformers Dark of the Moon, for example. Oh, I got it right there. I don't even have to bring that up. Yeah, Transformers Dark of the Moon made 352 here, but made 771 domestically or internationally. Age of Extinction actually made even more internationally than that one did. So these films do very well internationally. So that could definitely be a way for this film to make its money back. We'll see. I will say this. 60 to 70 in terms of making its money back, and we'll see ultimately what it makes. Maybe we'll make more, maybe we'll make less. Well, making its money back, not the most promising start to make its money back. I also don't think this film's going to have a lot of legs. Not because it's not entertaining and maybe a little rewatchable, but because you've still got Flash, Elemental, Indiana Jones coming out, which is also not tracking very high because of the less than stellar reviews it got. But still, it's just got too much competition to really have solid legs based on the reviews it's got right now, because I believe critically it stands at, let's see here. Critically, it stands at 53%. So just a little over half the critics like it. Which, you know what? That's better than some of the other Transformers got. But 88% by verified audience members who saw it. And that could still go up or down a little bit, because that's probably going to get into the thousands like most of these do. So you know what? Audiences are overall really liking it. It's kind of a similar situation, although Little Mermaid got better reviews than this did, to Little Mermaid, where Little Mermaid only had like a low 60, I think, but the audience overwhelmingly liked it, which is why I kind of went off a little bit about to the. The guy responded, by the way, in my box office report video about me being salty about that. I was salty for. I'll admit, I maybe came off a little salty, but I was salty for a very specific reason. I'm not going to go into that or whatever. I really don't want to start shit. Or I'm not trying to start shit. I really wasn't trying to start shit with the guy either. I was just commenting how I disagreed with them. I do disagree on the terminology of loss, though. That much I'll say. Like, the way they're using the term loss, I think you need to reinterpret how you're using the term. But regardless, it is similar to Little Mermaid, where domestically, like domestic audiences are actually liking it more than the international. I think this is going to be the reverse here. The international's probably going to respond more to this than the domestic. But again, we'll start to find out more once the weekend box office numbers roll in. Sunday, we'll definitely have a better idea of where this movie could land. But right now, 450 is probably what it's got to make. We'll find out if it can, because honestly, I had a lot of fun, and I'd be down for seeing another movie in this vein. Tighten up the script a little bit, because like Bumblebee was great. You got Kubo and the Two Strings director doing that. Like the Bumblebee was great. That is still, I think, the top tier one. But this, I think, is a close second, honestly. Well, I mean, not close, but a solid second. Anyway, I digress. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. You'll notice I didn't do the trailer thing this time. I'm in a rush today. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.